This is Roger with Crosscut in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this truck as a 2007 Ford F350 crew cab long bed. It's an XL, which is it's an XL work truck. It's a 6.0 turbo diesel. It's two-wheel drive. Has 115,345 miles. It was a fleet vehicle in the oil fields, the Kern River Valley Chevron oil fields. This and another one we have on the front line that we already have online were sold to us by Mercedes-Benz of River Oaks, so they must have done some sort of a trade with their fleet vehicles. Anyway, we bought it. We brought it here. You're saying, why is it so cheap? Let's get to that one real quick. So we got it here, and it ran great. Now, it's probably because it was on the shipping truck, and the shipper brought it here, and it was warm. We got into it, drove it. We're like, God, this thing drives like brand new, right? No blow-by, runs great, everything's good. So I proceeded, and I installed the new headliner because it was falling down. And what else did I do? I got my notes here in front of me. Oh, it also had a crack on the top of the radiator, which is, by the way, from knuckleheads who put batteries on top of radiators when they're installing batteries. I just had to replace the Mercedes battery or radiator for the same thing. It's so annoying. Don't lay heavy batteries on top of plastic radiators. Kind of obvious, but not really. Anyway, so we replaced that. Let's see my notes. The radiator and the overfill reservoir, because of course it's yellow like they all are. And then the next day I went out to start it, and it ran like ass. I just drove this down the interstate, and it ran great, and now it runs like ass. What's going on here? So we were like, well, let's not even deal with it. We have one, that one up there is uglier than this one. This is much better looking than that one. That one runs fine. This one runs bad when it's cold. So we sent it out to the auction. Just said, let's just take our lumps. And we did not like the offers we were getting. $7,000 is not enough money for this truck. There's a ding here. So we brought it back, and we took it to our shop, Monsoon. And as you'll see in the scanned-in documents from them, they recommend all injectors replaced, which includes valve cover gaskets. It also has hot air, which needs a new compressor, basically a complete rebuild of the AC system. $4,300, okay? So needless to say, I was very unhappy, and I said, well, let's just take it to the auction and take our lumps. And then I thought about it, and I said, you know what? Somebody out there might be okay just letting this thing run for 5 minutes and driving it up and down the street for a minute, and then they have a great truck all day for, you know, whatever we ever saw, $7 or $8 or whatever $1,000. And you know, maybe they're fine without AC. It's a landscaper truck, it's a work truck, who knows? So we're gonna give people a chance to own this thing with all these disclosures. Anyway, this is how it was sold to me. There's the VIN. This is scanned in. There's the miles. So we put about almost 150 miles in this truck, just driving it around. It says 6.0, runs strong, no blow-by, California truck, no rust, no cats. Oh, that's the other thing. They removed the catalytic converter on it. I'll talk about that in a little while. No frame or structural damage. This is what we originally did to it. We did the radiator and coolant bottle, and we did the headliner. That's all scanned in to the file, so you can read that on your own. Then we paid for the diagnosis, which is right here. It says here, needs injectors, and then they did an AC checkup, and that was $157. So this is money spent, okay? That's money spent, and this is money that it costs to make it right. Now, if you notice, there's the miles, 115,333. When you drive it across town, once it's warmed up, you don't care. You're like, I'd rather worry about AC. But anyway, all injectors, 2,800, compressor, condenser, accumulator, orifice tube, air conditioning system, flush, all that stuff. $4,371. Injectors and valve cover gas is $2,869. AC is roughly $1,272. You could do both, none, or one. At our price, what we'll do is we'll sell the truck to you, and whatever you want to do, we'll do at our price. And whatever, if you don't want to do anything, that's fine too. There's the VIN. And if you're a mechanic, you can save a fortune by just doing it all yourself, and at least you know what the diagnosis is, and that'd be great. So anyway, it was Bakersfield area, Kern Valley, right? Here's the title. This is from, there's the VIN. It was a well service company that was obviously sublet to Chevron, probably, you know, bringing pipes and all kinds of stuff all over the place. 115,201 is what it was sold by Mercedes-Benz of River Oaks to Crosscut with 115,207. Okay. All right. Let's see. That's all the paperwork there. Now, unfortunately, it's still warm from driving back across town this morning, so you're probably not going to get to see any of the stumble. But my job in these videos isn't to tell you what a star this thing is, or how great something is, any of our vehicles. It's really to tell you what's wrong, and that's what I'm going to do. All right? What's right is the motor's fantastic. The transmission is fantastic. What's wrong is the AC blows hot, and the injectors, when it's cold, fire too much fuel. There's the VIN here. I mean, the Ford stamp here, so you have an original fender. I forgot about this. I put new batteries in it the other day. New battery on each side, brand new. New coolant bottle, new radiator. Ford stamp here, Ford stamp here. So all the front end parts are original. There's your cat sticker, even though it doesn't have one. Let me show you underneath the truck. When we bring these things in, I drive up on this four-wheel post, and then we pressure spray the hell out of the undercarriage and let it sit up in the air for a couple days and see what how big of leaks it have, if any. This thing didn't leak at all. It doesn't mean it won't, but it didn't. Other than being really gross from being an oil field truck. All right, get a seatbelt on here. All right, let's go. Drive. So the math is kind of simple. I'm not really sure what price Dennis is going to put on this thing, but I think we're selling the 06 with 90,000 miles that we didn't do anything to. That definitely doesn't look as good as this one. It has a big ding in the door, but it runs great. I think we're selling that one for, what is it, 12,100. So at $4,300 in repairs, you would be looking at what? 12,100 minus 43 would put it at 80 or 78, I think. God, that's something like that. So if you bought it for $7,800, you would have the same truck as that one, except you'd have brand new air conditioning and injectors. Okay. Now, obviously, if we did new injectors and AC ourselves, we wouldn't be asking 12,100 for this truck. We'd be asking 13,900, something like that. So I would say, if I were you, a good price for this truck would be somewhere around 8,000. That'd be a great price. And then you can either do the injectors only and be into it 10,800, or you could do both and be into it 12. I mean, it's pretty hard to screw this one up, actually. Anyway, my job in these videos is to tell you what's going on, not to tell you what you want to hear, not to BS anything. And we rarely do this with these vehicles. We usually just, you know, if there's something wrong, we usually run them through the auction, and that's that. But man, it's hard when you have a work truck like this, a long bed, single rear wheel work truck that has a good motor and good transmission and runs great. It needs injectors. You know, we could do it, but what if air conditioning is not important to you? You know, a lot of these trucks could go to Montana or you know, San Diego or whatever, and that's that. You know, you don't need that. So we would waste $1,200 just based on where it's going. So we'll just sell it at a price where you can pick what you want to do, and then you'll have the truck you want, right? All right, let's go into the other stuff now that you know everything. Every vehicle that's sold in Arizona to an Arizona resident has to have catalytic converters. If you have a cat, that's gonna, if we have to add a catalytic converter to this truck, that's gonna add another $400 to the deal, mandatory. If you're from out of state and you want a cat, then it's gonna add $400. If you're from California, if you don't get a cat here, you're insane. Okay, in California, you have to get if it's in California and you install in California, you'll pay thousands for a cat. Okay, so get it done here if it's going to California, please. So you don't scream at us and tell me, you know, you didn't tell me how much it was going to cost here. Yeah, I just did. And do the research first. I'm not BSing. It's crazy, the difference. All right, we will give you the paperwork to prove that it was installed in Arizona, the receipts and everything, so that when you go to the inspector there, they're not saying that you did it here and the whole bit. It's got to be done out of state, and you got to have the paperwork, which we'll send with it. Let's see. If you come here to drive it home, you'll pay your state's tax rate, whatever that is. It could be Arizona's, could be wherever. Whatever state you're from, you'll pay their state tax rate, plus our city tax of 2.7% and a $250 dock fee. Remember, we'll add $400 to the cat if you're from Arizona, or if you want it and you're from another state. If you do pay by wire and ship from out of state, ship it out of state, you're just gonna pay the agreed upon price and that's it. No tax, no dock fees, nothing. If you want us to ship it for you and handle the shipping, we can roll the shipping into the price of the truck. By the way, if you'll notice, we're on I-10 right now and we're rolling. This thing runs great. I mean, it's a bummer that one or two of those injectors is misfiring. We do happen to know which ones, and there's one on each side. So both valve covers are coming off for sure. And when you do that, you might as well do all the injectors so that you don't have any drama later. So that's why we could just try to get lucky and do those injectors. I won't even say if it's one or two or three, because I don't want you to think that you can get away with that. I wouldn't do that. That's not smart. We wouldn't do it. I don't think you should do it either, okay? Anyway, the shipping, if you need help, let us know. I'll be glad to do the shipping for you. We can roll the price of the shipping into the price of the truck. Once we receive full payment, we'll fill out the title with your name, company's the name, an address, sign it off to you, scan it in your online file, and mail it. Now we're getting off on Ruthroff, okay? This is the Ruthroff exit. If you need help with shipping, let me know. Like I said, I do it all the time. If you're comfortable shipping your truck yourself, you're welcome to. But if you need help, let me know, all right? Deposit's $500. Once we have a deposit, we have a deal. Until we have a deposit, this truck will stay for sale. So please make sure that you get your deposit in, all right? And this one's gonna catch a lot of eyeballs for the price. And now you know why the price is the way it is. Hopefully there's somebody out there smart enough to say, wait a second. So if I bought it for $8 and I spent $4,200, $4,300 on it, and then $400 if I need a cat, I'll be into it 12 something, but I'll have brand new injectors and brand new air conditioning. Somebody out there has to be that smart. We're banking on that. If not, we'll do it, and then we'll sell it for $13,800 or $9,000. All right? Anyway, that's how that works. Last part of every video, I say the same thing every single time for every single one. We don't have salesmen, so you're not paying commission when you buy from us. We don't have a fancy location. We don't have a person serving lattes and scones like they do at Precision Toyota in the Auto Mall here in Tucson. All that stuff costs them money, all right? We don't have that stuff, so we don't have to crush you when we sell a vehicle to pay for that stuff. Our strength is we can tell you the truth about what you're buying, and we can do these videos that are brutally honest. We can show you the auto check, the receipts, the invoices, everything we know, the title, everything, before you even, think about anything. You know everything, all right? There's no way they would ever give you this information because A, they don't know it, B, they don't want to know it. And if they did know it, they don't tell you it, right? So that's the difference between buying from us and buying from them. Now, we can save a lot of money because we don't have all that overhead, and there's only me and my brother. There's one caveat. We cannot fix vehicles after the sale. We can't write you a check for anything after the sale, okay? This is school, so I gotta slow down. So you're the owner on day one. You're saving a pound of money. You know exactly what's going on with this truck, okay? Information is worth a fortune, and now you have a fortune, and you have a really nice running truck that needs injectors and needs an AC service, compressor, etc. You know that, okay? Now, could you run your landscaping business without spending a dime past the $8,000? Yes. I am firmly sold on this truck being super strong. I mean, look at off the start. This thing runs great for a 6.0 off the line. It runs great. It's just that first 5 to 10 minutes, it's an old man, man. I don't mean like cold starting. I mean like too much fuel. You got to drive it a little bit. It stumbles. It's, you know, it's what it is. But could you actually get away with making this work for another 80,000 miles? Maybe. You know, you could surely make it a while. I don't know how many miles, but a while. But, you know, you would have no AC, and you would have a rough running truck early in the morning, one that you don't want to pull in front of traffic with early in the morning until it's been running for a couple minutes. That's what you got. But then you've got this. I mean, the truck runs fantastic. So that's the bottom line. I'm going to park it out here for my brother to take photos of. This is a really good test of whether or not people like are really paying attention. If I was looking for a truck, a work truck, I'd be all over this. I mean, we've already done the legwork. You already know what's wrong, which is half the battle. Well, it's more than half the battle. It's like 90% of the battle to know what's wrong, all right? And what it cost. So there you go, all right? Now it's got 115,355 miles. Thank you for your time.